Minister's statement clarifies advisor's role in China spy case evidence. In a recent development, the Education Secretary has addressed concerns regarding the involvement of a key security advisor in the collapsed case against two men accused of spying for China. The statement clarifies that the advisor, Jonathan Powell, had no role in the substance or evidence of the case. The controversy arose when the Conservatives suggested that Powell, the Prime Minister's national security advisor, had influenced the decision not to provide prosecutors with the necessary evidence for convictions. However, Bridget Phillipson assured the public that Powell did not participate in discussions related to the case's evidence. The charges against Christopher Cash and Christopher Berry, who deny the allegations, were dropped last month, leading to criticism from ministers and MPs. The Crown Prosecution Service is now responsible for explaining the reasons behind the failed prosecution. Downing Street initially denied any ministerial involvement in the case's collapse. However, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Stephen Parkinson, made a rare intervention, attributing the trial's collapse to the government's failure to provide evidence linking China to a national security threat. The Conservatives have raised an urgent question in Parliament, demanding an explanation from ministers on Monday. They suspect that Powell, known for his pro-China stance, may have withheld crucial evidence from the CPS. Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp echoed these concerns, calling for an explanation and even suggesting Powell's resignation. The Prime Minister defended the government's position, citing the previous Conservative administration's designation of China as an epoch-defining challenge. The focus, according to the Prime Minister, should be on the policies in place at the time of the alleged offenses. Former Conservative ministers and advisors have come forward with claims that there was no official threat assessment regarding China. They argue that a document containing hundreds of examples of Chinese activities posing a threat to the UK during the relevant period could have been used as evidence. Incidents like the hack on the Ministry of Defense, suspected to be carried out by China, were cited as evidence of China's threat. A source from the previous government expressed disbelief that any jury would conclude otherwise. Public statements from former MI5 head Ken McCallum further emphasized the scale of Chinese espionage, with references to a sustained campaign of espionage. The Liberal Democrats have criticized the government's approach to China, warning that it endangers national security. The party has called for the government to block the planning application for a new Chinese embassy in London, arguing that it would facilitate industrial-scale Chinese espionage. The case against Cash and Berry, charged under the Official Secrets Act, was dismissed due to the lack of evidence meeting the required evidential test.